Howdy everyone, Icy Mike here, and as you guys might know, I'm a bit of hang on a second. I'm a bit of a Pokemon collector. I've shown off some of the stuff I've had on the channel before and during a stream, and we're actually going to show you off some more stuff here today, and I actually got some new Pokemon cards that I'm super excited about, and I wanted to show you guys that stuff as well. So I just decided to just make a video. Ooh. Make a video about it for you guys to enjoy, and let's get into it. So before we get to the cards and such, I have a few solid items that you guys actually haven't seen yet before. First off, I wanted to show you guys, this is my Pikachu bank. I still actively use this bank. He's still got some Munmuns in there. He's absolutely adorable. I think I got this from a Japanese store that's actually near the house. So if anybody lives in the Charleston area that wants one of these, I think I know where I can get you one for about 10 bucks. So it's pretty nice little piece. I also have some plushies here. One of my I'll show these here because they're open and they're real old school. I think these are. Oh, what are these? Are these the old? These are the actual. These are the old Hasbro dolls or whatever. So these are some old ones here. I've got an Ivysaur here, and I have a Clefairy. Yes, Clefable is the evolution. I should know that. Icy, you should know that. So those are the a couple plushies I have. They're like the beanie ones. They have like the little beads and stuff inside them. And then my favorite one right now is this little guy. He's still in the package. He is a Pokemon Center one, but he's just absolutely adorable. I mean, hands down, just one of the cutest. I don't know if you guys can get a really good look because he's in a bag, but he's one of the cutest plushies I've ever seen in my entire life, and I love him to death. And I want to get a nice carry-out cabinet, so that way they don't get all dusty and stuff, so that's why he's actually still wrapped up. The only plushie I've seen that's more adorable is this Gengar here, or maybe here, yeah, there works better. I think he's adorable as well, but I haven't gotten him yet. I saw somebody selling him, and I was like, I think that's gonna be one of the next plushies I buy for Pokemon. But anyway, so that's about it for the plushies, I think. But I have a whole box like sitting on my lap of all the extra stuff that I have. The next interesting one, and I don't remember this being cracked, so I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I let it get cracked. But this is actually a brand new Pokemon the First Movie CD. And for those kids that don't know what a CD is, a CD came after cassette, which if you don't know what a cassette is, cassette came after A-Track, which came after, or no, at the same time as A-Track? I don't know that far back. I'm not that old. But anyway, yeah, I don't remember that there's a crack on here, the case. This is actually brand new, unopened, but there's actually a crack right here, and I don't remember that crack being there. So that's actually really disappointing, but things happen, and there's like a little cut right here, so it's not like perfect shape, but it's still really cool. It's from Toys R Us, which that doesn't even exist anymore. I've got some books. Apparently there's a Garfield book in here. Not part of my Pokemon collection, but somehow it ended up in this box. I'm just going to move that out of here. But we have like a Pokemon Hall of Fame, which this one's actually newer. This is actually 2nd gen of Pokemon, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of those like sticker books. This might be 3rd. This is actually 3rd or 4th gen, so this is actually really old in my collection. Or relatively new in my collection, I guess, if that makes sense. But then I also have these two here. They're 2 second base sets, like starter boxes, but they're kind of cool looking. I kind of like them. They still have their cards and stuff in them. They still have like the manuals and everything. I didn't need any of the cards out of them for my collection, so they just always kind of stayed in there. The other cool ones I have, as I used to play a lot of video games and stuff like that, obviously with Pokemon, because, I mean, that's where most of us started with Pokemon. And so I have like a little Pokemon bag here, and I don't know what's in here. Oh, just a couple of cases. Like a couple. I don't even need those in there. But yeah, just a little Pikachu bag. It's kind of cute. I actually have a few of these. This other thing I have here is actually pretty interesting. They're brand new. I'm going to open the packaging because I've already opened the packaging. But they're called animated. I don't know if you guys can see it at the bottom there. They're called animated. Come on, clear up camera. Animated Buddy Clips. So I think they came out right around the time of Tamagotchi, but before you got like Pokemon Tamagotchi. And so, like, here's a manual and stuff for it. I don't even want to open that, but they're like, they're kind of hard to see. I might have to turn on the other light, but you see that? They're like a little pocket watch kind of like stopwatch thing. They're really cool, and they have like the little Pikachu tail open. They have the little Pikachu tail thing. It's really, really cool. I actually have 2 of these. Brand spanking new, unused. They still have like all the packaging. I want to say the other one might be Pikachu as well, but I picked these up at the flea market for like $5 a few years ago, and I had never seen them before, and they're brand new, so I thought it was quite a find. And so I've just kind of left them alone in the boxes for the most part. Let me see if I can shut this one. I have another one. This one's actually, the box is in much better shape. Almost don't want to open it, but it's okay because I've opened it before, so you're not reopening anything new. Yeah, same little Pikachu design. I thought maybe there was a different design on that one, but it's the same. It's just 2 of the same things. They just had them randomly in a box, so I bought both of them. Again, $10 well spent, in my opinion. Then we have, and I know you guys will recognize these. I have the Pokeball, the gold collecting. Hang on, can I get it right? From I believe it was Burger King, which sold these. But these are the gold Pokeballs. You can see them on the side. They had the little, 10-karat gold plated Pokemon card or whatever it is. 23-karat gold plated trading card is what these were. So I thought these were really, really cool. And I actually have, I don't know if I'm going to take out each one, but I have a full set. I have a full set of blue box ones. So I have the Jigglypuff, I have Togepi. I actually have several I have several Togepis in here, so if anybody wants a Togepi, hit me up and I'll see if you'll see where we can work something out. But they're all still brand new. I'm gonna take one of the Togepis out of the box just so you guys can see what it looks like, because the boxes aren't in great shape. They're really, really old when I got them. Actually, I'll take out. Oh, War Turtle's actually not even. Oh, I have 2 copies of War Turtle. Okay, so I have a War Turtle that's actually in really good shape. The box is in really good shape. But he's actually out of his plastic. I'll see if I can find another one in the plastic still. But if you guys remember these bad boys, they were the coolest thing to have up on your shelf. They have like a certificate of authenticity, if I'm not mistaken. Whoop. Well, I just dropped the certificate of authenticity, so I guess it's not authentic anymore. But it was really, really cool. Like, it was a really neat thing. And you would get these from like Burger King or whatever. Right around, I believe it's right when the first movie or something came out. I can't even remember what promotion they were doing for these. I think it was the first movie because it had Mewtwo in it. But they came in these cool little Pokeballs you would press in the front, and they would open up, and then there's the gold card inside. So it was always really neat. But I have a whole set, like that War Turtle there. I don't want to open up because the box is in really good shape. But this was always my like display one because I never wanted to take like they're still in their plastic. I'll show you here in a second. That box is all but falling apart. I'll take one of these Togepis here because I know they're still in the box. They're still in the plastic. That Togepi doesn't want to open. That Togepi's fully opened. Hang on. I know I have at least one set where they're all still completely wrapped up. Here we go. Yeah, okay, here we go. Here's one. So as you can see here, and I'm going to take it out and put it right back in. You can see it's actually still in the plastic and everything. So that's still a sealed one, and it's still in really good shape. So it's actually really, really, really neat. The boxes are in rough shape, admittedly, but I think I have a full set of blue. Like, not red, because they came in red boxes and they came in blue boxes, and I have them all kind of in front of me, but I don't need to show each one to you guys. I actually have 2 Pikachus. I have 2 Pikachu ones, which is pretty cool. I've got 2 Mewtwo's, and I've got 2 Charizards, because I was obsessed with having 2 of each of these. Mainly because one set I know is open, but the other set is actually unopened. So I have both. Perfect. Charizard. I have both a set of open ones that I can display and a set of brand new unopened ones, which is pretty cool because you usually find them. You'll find them like this, open and all that, but it's rare to find them still in their plastic and everything, or at least in my mind, that's pretty rare. So I thought that's pretty cool, and I think that's just about it for this box. But I got some more goodies for you guys, and I'll be back with you in just one moment. Okay, so I got a couple more little pieces here, and again, some of the stuff I have shown on the channel before during a live stream, but again, I wanted to kind of streamline it a little bit better, especially for those people that are just coming for the Pokemon content. The next thing I have here in front of me is Pokemon the first movie Topps trading cards. So this is actually like a booster set of the Topps trading cards. So it has a bonus pack inside, but it normally contains 10 packs, 8 cards per pack, one extra pack of cards equaling 88 cards per box. And these are like all of like the movie cards. So they're not the actual like they're not like the Pokemon cards that you normally see. So these are actually, you know, it's kind of an interesting thing to have, because everyone knows the, you know, normal stuff, but you don't always see the Topps Pokemon cards, because the Pokemon cards we collect are from Wizard, I believe, or what have you. So that's kind of neat. So that's probably the most interesting brand new item I have. I have a few other couple ones here and there, but the real coup de grace, in my opinion, for my collection at least, is the second base set pre-constructed decks. Now, it is the second base set, so it's not as popular. Like, if this was base set, this would be insane, because this would be a lot of money to have a brand new... I mean, it's still the starter deck, so it's not like you have necessarily rare cards, but this is still brand new. The plastic's torn from age. I mean, I've had these a few years, and that hole was always there, and then there's some dents and stuff like that, but I literally got this out at a flea market from some guy many years ago, and I think I paid like $30 or something for it, and that was well after... I mean, this had been out for 15 years or something when I bought it from you know, so these, I mean, this was really, I mean, longer than that really, but so this was already kind of vintage when I bought it off them, so it was quite a steal. But you can see right here, it actually has 4... I keep losing the camera because I'm a dummy. It's got 4 on each side, so it's got 8 starter decks from the base set. So, like, you know, when you were a kid, and even nowadays, basically you go to the store and you pick up, like, your starter decks, which have, like, enough cards for you to begin the game, and it has the rule books. Essentially... Oh, right. Essentially, these right here are what's in this box here. So, and I still have the cards and stuff in there. So this was the Psychic one. Yeah, it's Psych Out. So that has the water and the Psychic deck in it. So that's kind of cool. So these are all brand new. Each pack's all brand new. Again, plastic's in rough shape, but it's still a really cool piece to have. It's got the little Pikachu on top. It's got the, I think that's Poliwrath? Poliwrath, yeah. And, of course, Snorlax, my favorite Pokemon, on front. And what's cool is you normally wouldn't see him because he would be he would be behind all the booster packs. So you normally wouldn't see him until the booster thing was empty. So, or the starter deck packs were empty. So that's kind of cool to see. I think the guy actually had a couple more starter decks brand new, which I kind of wish I had bought at the time, but I didn't. I just bought this, and I bought a couple I think I bought a couple of items from him, but this was the big one that I've had it for years, and in the plastic it will stay. I will not be opening this for any reason, because frankly all the cards in here aren't really that rare, but to have them unopened is actually pretty cool. Especially to have the whole booster, the whole pack of them unopened is really cool, because you can get them relatively cheap if they're just the singular starter decks. Like if this one was brand new, it's a little easier to find, but to have that whole collection, that was always immaculate to me. I also played a lot of the Pokemon games, and I don't have them right here with me, but I do have a few cool video game Pokemon pieces. So if you guys want to see that, I can show it to you on another video, but I'm just going to cover little bits and bobs here and there. Recently enough, I should say, I picked up... This is actually the Japanese version of Pokemon Yellow. This is just the box. It's not the actual game. There's no game inside of here. But it has like all the manuals, and the box is in really neat shape. I just thought I bought the whole thing. Like, it came in this, which is actually the Japanese version of Pokemon Stadium, and with the game itself. These boxes were in really good shape. I thought they were really cool looking. So I think I bought them all together for like $5. They're literally just empty. They're somewhat empty boxes. Like, it has the manuals and stuff in them, but they're pretty much just empty boxes. But I only paid like $5 for them. So for a Pokemon collector to have this up on a shelf, especially this little guy, I love the little you know, Pokemon Yellow artwork and stuff for that. It's just nice to have up on the shelf. It's pretty cool little piece. And now we're gonna go ahead and move on to my card collection, which was the main reason you guys probably clicked on this, but you got all the extra goodies all the same, so be right with you. Alright guys, we are back, and I actually have all my cards. This is like my main collection, and I have a bunch of extra cards. I could show you guys that as well, but this was mainly, I just wanted to show you a few pieces of my thing, and then the collection itself. And the main reason why I wanted to show you the collection itself is because we recently added to it. So I was super excited about it, and I actually met up with a gentleman by the name of, his first name's Logan. Logan, I believe was his last name, not to shine off, you know, his name too much or anything. But really nice guy, had a great conversation with him, and we geeked out about Pokemon for about 4 hours. Because he had some cards that I was interested in purchasing, and then he told me that he actually trades the cards as well, so we ended up trading for a whole bunch. So just to go through it kind of slow for you guys, that way you can take a look at it and kind of enjoy it. I have them in order by the set of release date, if I'm not mistaken, for the most part. I'm pretty sure I have it right. So obviously we started with the first base set. This is a complete set of the first cards that came out. They're not first editions. There's a few first editions in here, but having first edition was never necessarily my... Like, there's first edition, there's even some shadowless in here. I'm not really that particular. I always just wanted to have each card from each set, and as you can see from my little Charizard here, which is an interesting story in itself, you can see he's got some creases and stuff like that. He's actually in really rough shape, but the cool story behind him is I only bought him for a dime. Like, I was at a flea market, and he was selling used he's selling Pokemon cards, and this was in the dime section. He only wanted 10 cents for this bad boy, so I felt like in honor of my childhood, I would have totally bought that for 10 cents and geeked out about it. And I was even geeking out about it as an adult when I bought it. So he has a special place in here, and at some point I'll get a nicer version of him. But for right now, in my collection, I'm perfectly fine with not having mint condition cards in this collection, and a lot of them aren't mint by any standard. But just to flip through, you know, you see each card, each one is numbered properly and in its correct spot. So like this one here is number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and etc. as we continue through pretty much the entire bin. So it's actually really it's actually really neat. So you can see we have all the Pokemon here. From the first set was 102 cards. It was called the base set, if I'm not mistaken, base set 1, or base set, or what have you. And I managed to complete all the cards. This one I actually completed a couple years ago. Ironically enough, this card here being the last card for me to collect. For some reason, he's a rare trainer, but for some reason I could not find him. It took me forever to find this card, and it's such a silly card to not have in your collection, but I just couldn't find him, because not only was he a rare card, he was a trainer card, and nobody cared about the trainer cards, so nobody collected the trainer cards, so it was that much harder to find him for that exact reason. But we actually managed to get him. I think my sister bought him for me for like my birthday when I was like 19 or something like that. And ironically enough, I ended up finding like 4 or 5 of him the very next time I went to the flea market after she bought me one, because I don't like buying cards directly from like eBay or anything like that. I kind of like to go through the process of, finding them out at flea markets or finding people to trade with, like I did here recently with Logan. And yeah, so we get on to the next set, and actually, there's a couple first editions. A couple first edition energies. Isn't that cool for the base set? So that's the end of the base set. Ends with the water energy. Now we're going on to the jungle set. The jungle set's really interesting because the first 18 cards, I think it's the first 18, I could be wrong, but the first 18 cards were all holographic, as it was with a couple of sets. But this one was actually missing its symbol. So base set actually has no symbol here, the first ones I showed you, but this set is supposed to have a symbol here. And if you flip the page, you'll see right here, this little symbol is supposed to be on these cards here, and they don't. So I actually have 5 of these in there, so essentially they're misprints. So I actually have 5 of these misprint cards. I have the Clefable, Jolteon, Nidoqueen. Hang on a second, flip the page. Snorlax, my main man. Absolutely love Snorlax with the little misprint there. And Wigglytuff. And what makes this interesting is it took me forever to actually get the holographic versions of these, being these two the very last cards I got. And this, they actually completed my set, so thank you so much, Logan, again, for trading those to me. I had a whole bunch of cards. I took them all with him. He found a bunch of cards he needed. I found a few cards I needed. We made a good swap. I was over the moon to actually complete this. So as of right now, I have the base set complete, which was over here, and I still want to get all 18 of these, but given that they're misprints, they are going to be super hard to get these 18 cards. But I'm happy to have completed this set. Again, Flareon and Jolteon were the last two that I didn't have, and they are complete. They're in pretty good shape, too. Especially considering some of the cards that he ended up getting off me. He was like, I don't care, they're not in great shape, but, you know, I like them anyway, and they made for good story. And he was actually over the moon to hear that these two would actually complete my set and kind of add to the allure of the story behind Pokemon cards and stuff like that, because there's one thing to be a collector that kind of cares about the condition or which edition of each card they were, whether they're first edition or shadowless, but he could definitely tell, and I could definitely tell from him as well, that we're really passionate collectors that really want to finish our collections just for the sake of finishing them, whether they're in perfect condition or not is here nor there. Even like my Electroid has some scratches on the character. You might not be able to see them. I don't have the best camera for this, but either way, we love our cards, and it was fantastic that I was able to complete my collection and offer some to him for his collection as well. So we'll just go through these real quick, because those were the two I mainly wanted to touch on, because those were the two that I needed to complete the set. But apart from that, I pretty much have every single card for the jungle set. So that's the second set. Actually, that's the third set I've completed. I'll show you guys the other one. And like I said, there's a few first editions in here, which aren't bad. I mean, they're mostly uncommons or commons, but they're, you know, still first edition, which is kind of cool. And odds are, a lot of the first editions actually came from when I was a little kid. So I've had these cards for well over 20-something years at least. Of me just kind of collecting Pokemon, because I want to say it was Pokemon came out in what, 93, I think, and then you know have you. So it's been quite a rush. And again, I got a few first editions, and then I have some that are double backed because they have both the shadowless and the, I guess, the standard or whatever it's actually called. Again, it was nothing I ever paid attention to. And there's the last card there. That's number 64. So that's 64 out of 64. So I have all 64 of those. Then you go to the fossil set, which you can see right now. Again, I don't care too much about the condition, but if I find another Haunter, I'll definitely replace him. But I'm pretty close to collecting this set as well. I have a few. I have like this holographic here. I can't remember. I believe it's Hypno. You know what's sad is I had a Hypno at one point. I had a holographic Hypno because I remember the purple background. But I need a holographic Hypno, and that would finish that front page. And then I've got a few more back here. So that's about 6, 7, 8 cards. I only need about 8 cards to finish this set as well. So if I can get those 8 cards, anybody wants to hit me up and either trade me for some cards or what have you, let me know, because I would love to complete this at some point. Again, I'm not big, I'm not made of riches, and I'm not big on, spending a lot of money on the cards, although I know some of them are quite rare and, kind of hard to find. So, I'll find them in my own time or when I have cash to buy them outright. But, if you see a few handful of cards or something that you need, and when I'm showing them off someday, and they're duplicates, because I do have quite a few duplicates, maybe we work something out. But yeah, as far as that goes, that's pretty much the rest of the set. I have all the rest of the cards, again, for a few first editions here and there, sprinkled in and what have you. And then the last card for this one is actually 62, which is the Mysterious Fossil. So I only need, like, what did I say, 7 more? Hang on, I want to double check, because I don't even believe it myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one's on the other side. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. I only have 7 more cards, like I said, because I was correct the first time. I only have 7 more cards to complete this set as well, and I'll have the first 3 sets all finished. So that's really, really cool. But as you can see, we're only halfway through the book, and we still have a lot of work, this being one of the biggest ones. This is base set 2. So this is the second base set of Pokemon, which was essentially a re-release, which pissed a lot of people off. So these cards weren't exactly the most popular. at all, and they're definitely not the ones with the most value. Although Figure's one of the few holographic cards I still need from this set is the Charizard from this set, which I know cost quite a pretty penny. And my buddy Logan actually did have one, but he had that card that he pulled from a pack as a kid, and so he was like, listen, I can't get rid of that one. And like I said, that's fine. I understand it 100%. That's a very special card to you. I wouldn't want to take it unless you're ready to give it away. So I only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 cards there. They're all rares and some holographics, but there's only 8 cards left on that set as well. Of course, they're the most expensive cards. And then I have like a random uncommon here. If I looked it up, I could tell you what card that is, but I do have one random card, and he actually helped me fill out a few of these as well. He helped me get... What cards did I not have for this set? I think I needed... There was a couple commons that I was missing, and then a couple of uncommons that he actually helped me kind of get and fill these out, so it was really, really cool of him. Which, of course, we traded. We made some good deals. I feel like we made some good deals there, and we were both happy with the outcome of that exchange. But, and then I'm missing... I think that's... I can't even remember what card that is, but that's another rare trainer card that I don't have. Ironically enough, because I was talking about how hard it was to find these. Or find the rare trainers, but I have pretty much all of them, so that's only like 10 cards from this set, so we're actually really, really close to finishing some of the first sets of Pokemon, and I am going through this right now. I'm just realizing how close I am to completing these. And again, guys, I'm sorry that the quality's not great. If I get a better camera at some point, again, I'm kind of just using my hand to hold both cameras, talk to you guys, and what have you, so I apologize. But now we're moving on to the Rocket set. I always thought the Rocket set had some of the coolest looking cards ever. Like you can see Dark Charizard here, the Dark Dugtrio, which looks really cool, which I could have sworn I had a better condition one of him, but for some reason he's the only one I have now, and that's actually kind of heartbreaking because he's kind of wrinkled. He's a wrinkly boy, but he's a good boy all the same. Dark Blastoise, which looks really cool, Dark Hypno, Dark Gyarados. And again, I'm only missing a few from this set as well, a few rares, but I'm sure they'll come in time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more cards out of this set. They also had the first Rainbow Energy, which was all holographic and shiny, which obviously I have. I have a couple of those, I think, which is kind of cool. And then, so there's those. So let me get another quick count so I can mentally think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7, another random uncommon. So that's only another 7. Yeah, that one ends with 82. And there's actually a hidden card in this one. It's called, I think it's Dark Raichu. And Dark Raichu, that one would go right here, because he's actually like 83 out of 82, if I'm not mistaken, which he actually had, but that was another one that he didn't want to part with, which is fine. I understand that there's certain cards that are kind of precious to you. And oh, look, another first edition. I don't know if you guys can see that. But we'll worry about that later. For right now, in my mind, I only have a few cards to complete this set as well, and that is very exciting. We're actually going to move on to the hardest set, not only to find, but generally speaking, one of the most expensive ones. It was the legendary set. And the legendary set was essentially base set 3. And because of that, everyone hated this set and nobody collected it. Because basically it was just a rehash of old Pokemon like Dark Blastoise, Charizard from the base set, and Dark Vaporeon, and all those. And basically it was just a rehash. And so that way they could have the cards back in rotation for like the Pokemon leagues and stuff like that they used to hold. But look at that. Look at that sexy thing. That is near mint condition, by the way. That is really, really good. Well, not near mint. I think that's just the plastic. But this is still in really good shape. And it's the reverse holographic Charizard, which doesn't that just look cool as hell? That's just cool looking. But as you can see, this collection, I'm not even going to bother counting how many cards I have out of this collection, because that's the only 3 holographics I have for the rares. And then, you know, I got a couple more rares here. Got a Nidoqueen, had the Hypno. And as you can see, I'm still got a lot of holes in this set. Got the reverse holographic Ivysaur though. He's pretty cool. Hang on, let's see if I can get that shine. Oh yes, so we got that, and that's pretty neat. But this is gonna be. I didn't even know about this set until my adult years when I was putting this thing together, and I realized, like, I found cards with the little. It looks like a little medal, like a little gold medal. Yeah, there it goes. And I didn't even know this was a thing. And I decided to add it to the collection. It's going to be my hardest one to find. I occasionally find uncommons of them, or commons and uncommons in like the 25-cent bin, so I end up picking those up, and eventually I'll fill up the holes. But as you can see, even the uncommons and commons are pretty thin on this one. I do have one of the rare trainers though, so that gives me a little bit of hope. But as you can see, I've got a few pieces left to fill on that one. Then we have the trainer sets, and they always had some gorgeous artwork, like even Moltres up there. Looks super cool. Real nice shiny background, the Clefable. A lot of really cool looking cards and stuff in this one. I'm only missing a few, I think, out of this set as well. Well, a few more than I thought, at least, as I turn the page. But a good 10 to 15 cards out of this set isn't too bad either. A few first editions here and there. Some shadowless or what have you, which I didn't really care about too much either way. Couple uncommons, you know. Then we're gonna go to... Like, those first few sets are the sets that I've really focused on collecting here recently. But any new card... I'll pick up any cards for this collection anytime I have the opportunity to. Or have the cash to, or what have you. Or, again, happen to find, because, again, I only ever buy these when I'm out at a flea market, or if I find a local guy that wants to trade with me, or what have you. But it's been a real fantastic time. Funny story about this, though. Like, I have all these cards, and everyone always had, like, 10,000 energies, and I don't know if I got rid of all my energies or what, but it turns out I'm actually missing one for this collection. It is the grass energy for the light trainer. Luckily, my buddy Logan, the guy I just traded some cards with, said that he has a buddy that has these within easy reach. So he's going to help me fill up that spot. It's such an awkward spot to have filled up, too, because there's been so many times I've been out at like a flea market or a yard sale, and I've had to flip through somebody's energy cards, the thousands of energy cards, just looking for that one. And interestingly enough, the next set, which is I think they were called like hero trainers and villain trainers, so this, I think this was the villain one or what have you, whatever it was called. I have less in this set, I think. The artwork is gorgeous. I have less complete on this set, but that's fine. I mean, hey, it's just something to overcome. Considering I only need about maybe 50 cards to complete the original 9 sets, other than the legendary set, and other than the Neo Genesis set or whatever it was called, that's not too bad. That's not too shabby. Again, I've been collecting these for many years, and they're all in not bad shape. Again, like the Charizard was in pretty rough shape, but there's quite a few really nice conditioned cards in here, and I've not touched these as far as physically touched them in years, because the moment I put them in here, these are really tight sleeves, and they just stay in here. And then obviously I got a couple trainers there, and a few trainers here and stuff like that. One back here and such. So, and then for this one, again, the villain set, the dark one, I'm also missing an energy. That's the ground energy or whatever it's called. Yeah, so I'm missing that energy as well. So it's really weird to be missing an energy from each set. Now I have the whatever the double star one. It's like Neo Genesis or something like that. Basically, it was the first base set of the next generation of Pokemon, and this is the newest set that I'm actually collecting, because I actually played through like Pokemon Crystal and such, and there's quite a few sets, and I might end up adding all of the sets from this generation as well as time goes on. But for now, I only collect the first one, and I'm kind of happy with that, because I still have a lot of holes to fill, because this was essentially at the end of my Pokemon collecting career as a kid. So like I wasn't buying booster packs anymore, and I wasn't really watching the show anymore, and so there's, you know, I still want to kind of complete it for just me personally, but it's going to be a lot harder because I didn't you know, buy them, you know, because I didn't have any interest in these. I had interest in the originals and the old ones, but I just didn't have as much interest in these. And there's a few uncommons missing. There's a few commons missing. So it's, you know, holes that could easily be filled, but definitely not as focused on as the new holes that are the older holes or the fewer holes that need to be filled. Like, what did I say? Two sets. I have, what, 7 cards left to finish those sets, so 14 cards in total. That is really not bad. And then we have one more complete set, and it's all the way in the back, and that's actually the island set. I got this. It was like a promotion or something like that. I got it for Christmas, and I remember getting this entire set all at once. It's got the reverse holographic Mew, Togepi, and was it Ladybee or Ladybell or something like that. Again, I didn't really collect too much of the second generation of Pokemon, but it's still a really cool set, and it's the complete thing. There's only 18 cards. It's 1 through 18. It's got this little island. Did I say jungle? Because I meant to say island set. It's the island set, little island symbol. And what's really cool about these is when you have them set up like this, you can actually tell that the photos run together. So if you look at it, now they're at the beach and they're spraying water, and you can see the little bit of water spraying onto the Slow King, and then the Slow King is right next to the palm fronds, which are right next to the executors and stuff like that. And then down here, Lickitung is like up in a tree, which is just above the Vileplumes, and Primate's up there climbing around as well, so which is actually really, really cool. And it's the same thing for the other side. Like you could even see in this one, it's even more connected by Pidgeot's wings, because you have the Mew, and then it's connected by Pidgeot's wings here, and then obviously the Onix over here. This one with major overlap as well, because you can see Togepi, and you can see Ivysaur's arm there, and obviously you see Togepi in that one. So that's a really, really cool set. Basically, they took a whole picture, broke it all down, and they were like, that's a set. And, you know, so it's kind of cool. It's something kind of neat. And then we have our promo cards back here, which is a couple. He actually got me a couple really good ones. He got me this Jigglypuff promo down here. I think that's number 7. So we have Pikachu, Electabuzz, Mewtwo, and so on. I'm only collecting the first 36 promo cards, because obviously then they start to go into the second generation of Pokemon and what have you. But one of my favorite cards now I actually got from him. And we'll turn this over to the next page so you guys can see the back. Have a, you know, cool Porygon, which he's quite wrinkled up as well, but that's okay. I still love him. We have Meowth up here, and we have the Mewtwo. And I need to, you know, finish up a couple more pieces of this. And then if we come over here, we got Moltres, Zapdos. Obviously, I need the promo version of Articuno. And if we come back here, this was actually the card I went to get from him. There was 2 cards I went to get from him. We'll show you right here. It was these 2 cards right here. I saw his listing that had these 2 cards, and they're numbers 34 and 35, and they're both promos. You can see if it'll focus on them. Focus. There we go. You can see that that's a promo card. And all those other ones I showed you were, of course, promo cards, which, hang on, let me go back one second. Hang on. Kids WB. Whoever remembers that, check that out. It's the promos with the little Kids WB, the first Pokemon movie engraving. I love it to death. It's absolutely beautiful. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I went to him with full intentions of buying these 2 cards. And it turns out I already had like 10 of him. But at the time I created this book, I wasn't planning on going up to 36. I was only planning on going up to 18. But then I realized that Moltres and Zapdos were like 25 or something like that. So I was like, oh, well, then I have to go all the way up to 36. That way I can kind of round it off. But yeah, so I ended up getting the Pichu from him. Really good trade. He got some good items off me. I got some good items off him. And then the last really cool card, this is really, really good condition. I think there's one minor fray up at the top, but I ended up putting it in here for safekeepings. It's the legendary Mew card. Not trying to flex, but it's in really good shape. I actually had like 3 of these. I sold him one that wasn't in the best condition, but he was happy for it. He was just like, hey, I want it. I don't care if it's not in great shape, because I had one that was in slightly better shape than the last one. And that was like my first one that I ever got, and I wanted to keep that. And then this one was in the best shape, so I wanted to keep this one. So he was like, well, I'll buy the 3rd one, even though it's not in good condition. He only, I gave him a good deal on it. He got a good deal on it, yeah, condition aside. And he was happy for it. Again, we were over the moon just talking for hours and stuff like that about the Pokemon cards. But rambled on quite a bit. Hopefully it wasn't too much for you guys. I'm going to move you back to the camera view for the outro, and whew, so that was a lot. That was a lot of icy talking very quickly. So I apologize for that. Also, I don't know if you heard like a lot of breaks, but that was like me like burping a little bit, so I apologize. Like I just ate and then was like, oh, let me record a video, because that seems smart, and I'm riffing back through my Pokemon cards now. But yeah, this has been, you know, a little life hobby for me, is collecting these Pokemon cards, because I cared so much about them when I was younger. I know a lot of people end up moving on but keeping certain items from their childhood, and this was one. The Pokemon, and specifically these cards, were always one that I really wanted to kind of cherish and keep close to me, and kind of pass down and such, as I get older or what have you. But as I watched either my friends or my family just kind of move on from Pokemon, it always kind of had a special place to me, and these cards especially. So I've always tried to continue collecting them and what have you. And so far I'm doing a good job, and I eventually will fill up this entire book and have all of these sets. I think it's like 10 sets. I'll have all 10 sets complete. But like I said before, I'm not going to buy them directly. I'm going to find them, or I'm going to have a cool story behind them. Like how, again, I hadn't looked, it was off of, I was looking online, and I hadn't looked for Pokemon cards in 6-7 months. And it just happened to be, I was online at just the right time and met a guy that wanted to trade me some. And we traded, and it was a blast. We talked about our history with Pokemon. We talked about all kinds of different stuff. He was a really, really nice guy. So again, Logan, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me that day and trading with me. And of course, we kept a proper distance away from each other and all that because of everything that's going on. But no, it was a really, really good time. And I was able to. He was over the moon that he could complete my set, and I was over the moon that I could help him start to finish up his sets, because he's only collecting the first 3 sets. So if he was me right now, he'd almost be done. But but he was really, really nice and had these extra cards for me, so he went ahead and traded those off, and he got a good stack from me as well. We were both happy with it, and we'll both probably hang out again. But I know he was real excited to see this video, so Logan, you better have watched it, buddy. Comment when you do. But yeah, so I know this isn't for everyone. I know not everyone on the channel is a Pokemon collector, and I know I didn't present it in the best way. I might show, if I find more cards, I'll definitely show you guys again and keep you updated if you are interested. But yeah, I mean, I love Pokemon. I love Pokemon stuff. I've cut down, I do have like the pieces and stuff that I showed you, but I have cut down on a lot of my collection or seeking out items, just because I wanted to hone in on the specific items, either the plushies that I really liked, or just like brand new items and stuff like that. And obviously I showed you some of the brand new items I had, which were pretty neat. I have some pretty neat stuff. That Pokemon CD, trust me, there's been plenty of times where I've wanted to listen to, gosh, what's on there? I think Britney Spears and like NSYNC had a song on there. Backstreet Boys, I think, had one. So I thought about opening that bad boy up and listening to it, but it never really happened. Oh, and I have some of the old packets too. They're not new, they're open, but I like the artwork on them, so I kept just the sheaths of the packets themselves. But yeah, so I've been collecting this for years. Absolutely love it. Hopefully we'll finish the collection one day, and hopefully you guys will see when I finish that collection one day. Because whether you wanted to see it or not, I showed it off, damn it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know I had a blast. I have some more Pokemon items, if you guys like that sort of stuff. I also have not an extensive video game collection. Some of it's up there. That's why I was looking. Not an extensive video game collection, but I do have the stuff that I collected or had since I was a kid, like my old N64. So if you guys want to see that kind of stuff, I'd be happy to do it. But I know here this week, it's fun to every now and again touch on old passions or old hobbies and find somebody that's just as enthusiastic as you are about them, just to talk for a little while. And that's what me and him did, and it was a blast. So we were able to update my collection. We have the first base set and the jungle set complete, not including the misprints, which I'll eventually get, but boys, that can be a grind. I think at this point I'm just talking in circles. But I had a blast doing this, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let's turn off the lights. We'll get back into some more games later. And for now, thanks for chilling with Icy.